Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we have gathered here once again. And this time it's animation night. Yes, it's that time once again where we sit down and we talk about an animated film. And this time it's going to be 2014's The Book of Life. And it's actually not Pixar or DreamWorks or Disney. So that makes a change. Let's start off with Lee since he's unmuted.
I can't reach my mute button.
No, no. At least he's having a nap, though.
Yeah.
And what were your opening thoughts on this?
Oh, my opening thoughts on this. I quite enjoyed this. She's off, as always. Right.
Talk about the most inconvenient time.
She's camera shy. I sat down and watched it. I'd heard of this when it was out, but I didn't pay much attention to it. It was sort of a lesson as well about the Day of the Dead, because I didn't know anything about that, the history of all that. So it was quite interesting. Very colourful movie. The music in it's brilliant. The version of Radiohead's "Creep" in that is just absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed this. I didn't think I would. I sat down and I thought, is this just going to be a run-of-the-mill animation movie? Because it's not a well-known company who's done this, and I did enjoy it. I sat down. I didn't get up. When a movie's good, when you sit from beginning to end and you don't move, you just keep watching, and that's what I did. And it was CGI, wasn't it? 3D graphics. It wasn't stop motion.
No, it was animation. It was
animation. Yeah, but I was just saying, but it did look like there were models. That's what I was saying. The artwork was that good. You could have sworn they were like model puppets, but the way it was animation. Yeah, a very good story, enjoyable, funny in parts, and the music was good. Over to you, Alid.
And let's go over to Stephen Price, who's only watched 35 minutes of it. But did you enjoy it, Stephen?
Yeah, that's what I've seen of it. It was very good. I enjoyed the animation and what Lee said, very colourful. I'm going to watch the rest of it probably tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's good to know that you're going to watch the rest of it. Let's go to Alex and Susan before Alex nods off to the land of Nod.
All right. Sweet movie, fun. It was great that it was all about Mexico, which is, most animation isn't about Mexico, but this was. And it had a lot of cultural stuff in it. And it was, but all the music came from other sources, and it was all done by covers. So I really would have preferred the original songs. But I guess that they kind of had to make it the characters sing them. Anyway, that was an issue, I guess, a little bit. But it was beautiful, and it was surely a very, very interesting story. And Alex?
Well, I mean, I found out who some of the cast was, and I guess one was Cheech Marin, who they do kind of use now, and he was big for his stoner comedy and being in Nash Bridges. There was times, there's some parts of Spanish culture that are superstitious. There are some parts of all Spanish culture that, they believe in the spirits still walking around and things like that. I'm not a big fan of Day of the Dead. I understand that I watched a lot of adult things when I was a kid, so it was kind of funny in the movie how they're going, oh, the kids are going, oh, that's depressing, oh, that's sad. And of course, there was the item about the bullfighting. And, only lately has that finally calmed down and they're not that big on it. But like I said, Cheech Marin, I was almost wondering if he was going to put in the Chico and the Man jokes, and you almost thought he was going to do that. Some of the songs, like "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" I guess that's for the adults. But yeah, probably not appropriate for a kids movie, but it wasn't really taken too seriously. Um, like I said, it's an okay movie. At least it isn't super saccharine, like a lot of the movies are now. But I still thought it was kind of adult and it was kind of macabre. But then again, yeah, I mean, science fiction can be macabre, and I did watch a lot of adult things as a kid, so I guess I can't complain too much. Um, I would have liked it if they had done it a little differently. Maybe if it was not as long, or maybe if they had shortened the songs or whatever. But like I said, I mean, cartoons for most of the time, unless you're watching Barney or something like that, they have adult jokes in them. So that if the adults are watching, there was a famous joke in one of the Fox cartoons where this wolf that looked like Woody Allen and talked like Woody Allen broke the fourth wall again and said to the screen, "Oh, I see you, mother and father, pretending to make breakfast." So they could always put in sort of an adult joke, in there and see if everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, but Barney's for very young children.
Yeah, that's true.
Not this. This isn't Barney level of,
Right.
Let's go to Brian. What do you make of this, Brian? Even though you saw it a year ago.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yep.
Okay.
When I say Brian, I mean you. It's cute, Brian.
Okay, so the Book of Life. When I saw this last year, I didn't know what to expect because I honestly didn't know what it was about. So I just decided for the heck of it, just give it a watch, and it was an interesting type of film. It was I thought it was different because it's not a lot of like, it wouldn't be like a thing that you would expect from an animation film, because most of the time animation films are completely different from and stand off from what they have within this film. And this is more like about the culture and life and death within that part of people, how they would celebrate it. But I did like it. Good visual and special effects. I think maybe a good message as well. So I honestly liked this film.
And I watched this. This was on over New Year. That's why I picked this, because when Lee asked me what film we should do for this month, I immediately said The Book of Life, because I'd only just watched it over New Year, and it was on Channel 4, and I thought, I've heard about it, but it's not Pixar, it's not DreamWorks, so it doesn't get as much promotion, so it passed me by back then. And I sat down and I watched it. I thought, you know what, because I don't like watching things. I don't like watching movies on television because you get ad breaks and they can disrupt the flow of the film. And I would much prefer to watch it straight off, straight through. But I sat and I thought, right, I'm just going to see what it's like. And if I like it, I'll buy it on DVD. And I sat down and I watched the entire thing. I thought the visuals were amazing, especially the Land of the Dead, the Day of the Dead. The colors just popped, and some of the sequences with the when he defeats that big bull and things like that, and the way it disintegrates, and when they meet the cloud god thing. I thought all that was amazing. It was absolutely stunning. The visuals were they were a Pixar level. I mean, Pixar have only just released a film that's being people say that is similar to this, which is Coco.
Coco, yeah.
Which I haven't seen. I don't know if you've seen Coco. But so
I've heard the same thing, that they've said it's exactly the same story as the Book of Life, but it's not as good.
But the story in this, I thought, was actually excellent. The story in this was excellent.
Well, Alan, what was the company that did this film? You know,
I think it 20th Century Fox. It was distributed by him, wasn't it? I think it was 20th Century Fox. I'm not too sure. I think so. But the story was excellent. The characters were great. I thought they were all fleshed out and they all had a background to them. They were all likable. I liked when you saw his ancestors and how wacky they all were and things like that. It was a really, really great film. We'll go in. What's the matter, Lee? You putting your finger up?
I've just got the information. It was by Real Effects Creative Studios.
Oh, right. I've never heard of them before.
That's what I mean. It's not a very well-known company.
Well, I hope they make more films.
Well, actually, there is a planned sequel.
Oh, great. I'd like to see a sequel to this, yeah. Definitely. And I loved how it tied up at the end, because it ends up the two that take them in at the beginning, and I'm not going to say too much because it'll spoil it for Stephen Price, but people who watched it know what I mean by how it ties up at the end, doesn't it, Lee? With the two people that are showing them round, and then you got the caretaker, and then at the end you find out who they are. I thought that was quite sweet how they tied all that up.
It's a bit of like a twist, as you would say.
Yeah, it just wraps it up, doesn't it? Just wraps it up. So let's go into favourite moments. Let's go to Brian. Brian, do you have any favourite moments in this?
So again, I'm the first one of the favourite moments. Okay.
You can make a complaint to @Lee Wilson.
Okay. Support Lee. No, favorite moments, I think probably, well, definitely my first one I think would have to be when what's his name? What's the main character's name? Forgot. What's it? Does anybody know? The ones from Susan?
There was Malvolio and Joaquin.
Joaquin, that was it.
Manolo and Joaquin.
Manolo.
Manolo. I can't even say.
Okay, but whatever. I liked when he went to the realm of the dead, like where he saw like all the dead people and he got to meet his parents again.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was absolutely amazing. I think that was probably the favorite moment within the film, because you get to all see the visual and special effects and everything, and it was just amazing within that scene. And it
was just how the world was as well, wasn't it? It was just how things were like. There were steep roads and things like that, and yeah, it was just visually stunning. Yeah, carry on.
I think maybe the flashback moments to the Joaquin and, well, mostly generally all three of them, like seeing them growing up together.
Yeah.
Because mostly that's what the movie. Those are the main characters, and half of the story is mostly about, because it's about these three main characters, how they grew up and how, like within the story, like kind of go competing one of another to get the girl. And I thought seeing the background story was interesting and everything. So I think the flashback scenes are cool in itself. So
And Stephen Price, even though you've only seen 35 minutes of it, was there a scene that stood out?
Yeah, the bullfighting and where he singing a song with his guitar, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. And
animation, really, really good.
yeah, no, the animation is fantastic. And Susan and Alex, favorite moments?
Yeah, when they're in the land of the remembered and the land of the forgotten, that was some cool stuff. It was some cool supernatural, weird, fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, if they want to have it as sort of a macabre fable, it does pretty good. And the animation was good. I just never was a fan of, showing skeletons and things like that. So I'm kind of glad it wasn't 100% realistic, but that's fine.
It's not meant to be realistic.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's yeah, well, no, but I mean, of a regular because usually when I think of skeletons, I think of like, Halloween and horror movies and things like that. But like I said, it's the Mexican culture really isn't part of my culture. It's not the culture that I know. But a lot of Spanish people do believe in, evil spirits and spirits still walking around and things like that. So I guess in a way, it's Day of the Dead, but just not with the skeleton feature of it. But
I think you're looking at it a bit too seriously, Alex. I think you're looking at it
but I mean, it's a fable, so I understand that. She was telling them, the teacher was telling them a story, and boy meets girl, boy doesn't necessarily like the job, and then I guess because unfortunately Maria gets bitten by a snake, pushing him out of the way, that he wanted her back, and that's fine. And they have to complicate the movie, otherwise it's over in 20 minutes. So like I said, they did try to put in a lot of songs, and like I said, who knows how much was cut out, because I was starting to wonder, because they had Cheech Marin, if it was going to be more stand-up type of jokes, but as far as he was concerned. But like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. I usually like the old-fashioned animation, anything from 40s to the 80s. I did see 2 of the Toy Story movies, and that was okay. And like I said, animation is fun, depending on the humor and depending on what you like. So yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. If the sequel's anything like the first, it'll be a good time watching it. Like I said, I just like a different. I don't know how oriented this is for kids, but then again, I didn't ask any kids to watch the movie, so maybe they like it more than we do. I don't know.
And let's move to Lee.
Yes, and we'll go away from the seriousness and to the fun bit of the movies. There's some brilliant bits in it. I like the singing nuns. Every time they just used to pop up and do a bit of an end of a song. Also, when they went to the land of remembered, he meets all his relatives, all his uncles, his grandfathers, all the old bullfighters. We're always been bullfighters in our family. There's one who's a clown.
That's my favourite bit, that is, when you see all the bullfighters, the ancestors. That is my favourite bit. And when they're doing the fight and they're doing their own moves, in the fight towards the end. That's brilliant.
Well, one of the characters, one of his relatives in the land I remembered, the singing skeleton, as we call it, is played by Placido Domingo, the opera singer. Because he was the, you could tell from his voice. I thought, oh, no, that's an opera singer. And I looked it up, and it's Placido Domingo. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. And one of the characters I really do like is Grandma. Little wizened grandma knitting there with glasses in the wheelchair. I just think that's a brilliant character. But yeah, all in all, it's a good film. Don't take it too seriously. You may call it macabre, but it's not macabre. Alex, I'm sorry to say it's not macabre. It's the Mexicans' way of living. This, celebrate the Day of the Dead, which is 2 days after Halloween, I think, as I remember. They're allowed to have all their beliefs. I believe in afterlife. I believe that there's something there. I believe in spirits walking. So I believe in all the paranormal stuff. So, and that is a good
I believe in life after love.
And well, but to me, this was a fun little movie, and it wasn't too long, in my opinion. It was just right, and I say it cost them $50 million to make, and I think it grossed 100.
Wait,
so
what?
it was sort of a success. But hopefully, there is a planned sequel, so we'll see what happens there. But I think the planned sequel is going to go with the Channing Tatum character, who the one who had the medal. I can't remember his name now. Is it Joaquin?
Yeah, that was his name, Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin. Yeah, I think the sequel is going to be more about him than the other two.
What, like a prequel type of thing, like on his backstory?
I've just said sequel, haven't I?
Well, I stepped out for a moment. I just came back. I didn't hear you.
But I tell you, as Aled has already said, the labyrinth scene with the balls, and that was just amazingly done. That was very good. Over to you, Aled.
And the candles and stuff like that, yeah.
Oh, the candle maker. The
candle maker, yeah. The candle maker, yes.
Played by Ice Cube.
Yes. Yeah.
There you are. You see, I'm down with the kids.
You're really down with the kids, yeah. You're really hip. I thought Lee Wilson would be down with the kids being hip. At the end of this, he's going to give us a really...
I usually say, oh, my hip.
So like there is a lot of cultural stuff about snakes in Mexico. Like even their flag, Viva la Mexico, has a snake being attacked by an eagle.
Bring it closer if you can.
Oh, great.
Good. Oh, yes, I can see. Yes, yeah.
Good against evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
reminds me of Adam and Eve with the apples.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, the serpent in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Story.
Yeah.
There's a snake in this cast, but I'm not saying which one it is.
So Mexico, the story. I mean, is oh bummer. What? Like I love the goth kid going. There's so much death in this Mexico, and this stuff is in. I mean, and then the little girl going, no, we're just kids. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was funny, and the daughter from Love and what's the one? Married with Children. She played Christina Applegate. She played Mary, the tour guide. pretty cool. I mean, it was like there was a cast of thousands. It was really amazing. Like the cast was pretty big. Anyway, there's my little bits for right now.
Yeah, no, there's just so many good moments in this. Like Lee says, when they go into the land of the remembered and the ancestors and stuff like that. It's just so funny. I mean, the film is funny throughout, but especially when it gets towards the end, when it brings those characters in, and like Lee says, the grandma and stuff like that. She's funny. I don't know much about Mexican culture. All I know really about Mexico is that Donald Trump wants to build a wall around it. That's as far as it goes. But this film is brilliant, and like I say, it's been compared to Coco, which I don't think, even if Coco is better than this or worse than this, if it's anywhere near this, then that's good, because this is a really great film, and that's why I chose it, because I thought not a lot of people have seen this, and I really wanted everybody in our group. Sadly, not everybody has watched it, but I really wanted them all to watch it, because actually it's a really good film with a really good story and really good characters. And it makes no difference if that's animation or live action. A good film with a good story, with good characters, with good music is a good film. That is what this is. It's a good film. And it just has amazing animation, seriously amazing animation. If you haven't seen this film because you think, oh, it's not a Pixar film, or it's not a DreamWorks film, or it's not a Sony film, or it's not a whatever film, who makes the Minions, Illumination film, then watch this, because this is one of the better animation films, I feel. Because there are some animation films that are like, the Hotel Transylvania films and Ice Age films and stuff like that. But this really is a really, really good film.
I mean, the Fantasia had a whole sequence with death and demons flying around and all that. So it's been done before. It's just now most of it is computer, type of generated.
So you prefer the hand-drawn stuff?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this computer drawn.
So if this was hand-drawn, you would like it more?
Yeah, I would actually. But like I said, the music is good, and the, and I like I said, I noticed all the adult jokes and all the adult. I mean, do you think I'm sexy? Come on now, that's a disco song by Rod Stewart.
But they all have.
But that's it's cute. I get the joke.
All these animation films have adult jokes.
Yeah,
all of them do. Yeah. They all have adult jokes because they know that the adults are taking the children, so they've got to entertain the adults somehow.
Yeah, but that Rod Stewart's not an adult song. It's a song.
No, it's not an adult. But to Alex, it's an adult song.
well, it's a disco song. A lot of people didn't like that he did that song.
If it was an adult-orientated song, it would be banned and not played until about 9 p.m. on a night. That's what they do in this country.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Well, not here. But that's okay. Like I said, I know that there was a movie where they even played Super Freak for a minute or so. Not that they played the lyrics, but they played the music, so you knew it was Super Freak. But they didn't play the lyrics in the movie, obviously.
If they played a Tom Jones song, I would have turned it off straight away.
There you go. And that's another thing.
Well, that reminds me, that just come up.
Yeah, there's always been...
Tom Jones actually appears in it.
Yeah, there's always been, sort of adult songs, which is fine. I mean, that goes back to the blues, so... But I'm surprised they decided to use it. But, I mean, I get the joke. I do like the song. I'm just surprised they used it. That's all. It's nothing bad, necessarily, because there are worse lyrics and there are more adult lyrics. Other songs like from Prince and all that. But anyway, no, but I'm not repeating it. So anyway, yeah. I mean, it's I like more of a hand-drawn animation, like something from the 30s to the 80s, and then I
Snow
noticed
White
in the
and
90s
stuff like
they
that.
went,
Yeah, which we
Well,
are going to
yeah,
review, by
those-
the way.
yeah, in the 90s they started going toward more.
Well, you'll be pleased to
computer
know that we will be reviewing Snow White next time on the animation cast. So you've got that to look forward to. You said you like hand-drawn animation, so there you go. You're not going to say anything.
He's gone quiet.
He's gone quiet. Oh, he's like, oh, sugar! I shouldn't have
I'm
mentioned
excited.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that is a month. In the month's time, we'll be reviewing that. So does anybody else have anything to add on the Book of Life?
It's a damn good movie.
It is, and with that, let's start off with final say and score. Let's start off first with Stephen Price. He's only watched 35 minutes of it, but what would you give it so far, Stephen? What would you say about it so far?
I give it a 9 because the animation was awesome.
Yep, and you're going to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yep, and let's go to Brian.
Final say and score. Final say and score. I think it might have to be a 10 out of 10 because this movie rocks. For animation film and a film like this, it rocks. Give it thumbs up. Give it 2 thumbs up. Right on.
And let's go to Susan and Alex. Is Lee's cat giving us a wave? Oh, we're not going yet. She wants to get rid of us.
I'd say for the story and the voice acting, I'd probably give it a 6. For some of the in-jokes and the story, I'd give it another 3 points. But like I said, I'm not a fan of the way that they did it, but they did a good job.
It's not bad going. That adds up to 9.
So is that a 9? All right.
Alex is just giving it a 9.
You know how incredibly convoluted that scoring process is, but I really enjoy it. I love it when you come up with these really intense, like, different ways of scoring things. Brilliant. Anyway,
Only Alex, eh? Only Alex.
Alex's mind is amazing.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
I'm just going to say that
6 hours of Alex's mind.
I'm going to say that para esta película voy a darle un 9 de 10. Un 9 de 10. A 9 out of 10.
Oh, I thought that
Viva
was
Mexico.
Oh, I thought that was where's the toilet? I'm bursting.
No. I was saying for this movie, I will give it a 9 out of 10 in Spanish.
A 9 out of 10. Another.
Y ándale.
9. And let's go to Stephen. Lee. Just call you Stephen there.
Yeah, it's me now.
Your needle is stuck in the groove. Okay.
Lee, before we fall into chaos.
Yeah.
Before your cat does a runner.
Well, she stuck her claws into me, so she's not going anywhere. What shall I give it? I enjoyed it, beginning to end. Very colourful, funny in places. The music was brilliant. A good story, and I learned something from the movie as well. As I say, I never knew anything about Mexican.
Yeah, same here.
The Day of the Dead, stuff like that. So I've got to give it a 10. I enjoyed it.
And you know what? I have to give it the same. I have to give it a 10. Because I enjoyed it from beginning to end, and I can't find any fault with it. It was just a really, really good film. So yeah, it's going to get a 10 from me. And if you haven't watched it, like I say, seriously, give it a go, because it is genuinely a really well made and good film, and I'm glad that there's a sequel, because hopefully it's as good as this one, or if not on par. I hope they're obviously not doing it. I don't think, because sometimes companies make sequels out of greed just because the first one did well. I think for them to do a sequel of this, they must have an idea to keep the story going. If you get what I mean? Because it's not like it was a huge success or anything like that, which is a shame. But I hope the next one does better. And do you know what? I think this one probably has done well in DVD sales, probably, I'd imagine, and Blu-ray sales. Because from what
Mexico.
I hear... Say again?
And Mexico.
Yeah, and definitely Mexico. Yeah, you would think, wouldn't you? So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10. And I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to tell us what you made of this film below. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, everything else. Look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.
Muchas gracias para todos, para los que visten este podcast. Regresaré y le gusta o no le gusta, o dale un escritor, y muchas gracias para todos.
Can you have